What on earth is impact and why should you care? Well, let's be honest, legacy and impact can sound like fluffy buzzwords. But in reality, it's actually one of the most powerful shifts happening in our industry at the moment. Because here's the truth. The business as usual, where it's all about the money, is over. The world is changing fast. Your future clients will choose companies that do good, not just do business. And your future colleagues will want to work for organizations that actually make a difference for people, for communities, and for the planet. So the real question is, are you ready to rethink how you design your events? So what is impact, you might think? Well, impact, the good news is actually quite simple. Impact is change. And it's the change you intentionally create through your event. Not just what happens during the event, but what continues because of it. So let's make it a bit more tangible and real. Imagine you live in a city and it has too many cars. People don't walk anymore or very little. There's no cycling, pollution is rising, and you want to change that. Well, instead of hosting just another event or congress, you bring in a large-scale cycling congress to your city. And now the event becomes something bigger. It becomes a catalyst. Because how do you turn that then into real impact? Well, you start first with a clear intention. We want a safer, a greener, and a cycling-friendly city. And then you look at expanding your circle. Who do you work with? Who are your stakeholders? Because impact is never a solo act. So you bring in, for instance, urban planners to design bike infrastructure. You talk to the police, of course, because you need to think about safety. You're going to talk to the local residents because you want them to understand your project. But also look at bike shops. You need to have enough bike shops if suddenly people will be buying bikes. And don't forget the schools, because you want to make sure that children, when they cycle, know the rules and know how to do this. And of course, transport services. They need to understand how to adapt to a bike-friendly city. So suddenly your event becomes a meeting point for change. And then the Congress opens doors. For instance, conversation with policymakers, but also maybe more funding and alignment across sectors. And most importantly, the work doesn't stop when the event ends. It's actually when then the real impact starts. So to conclude, the 3 last points. First, remember, impact is change. Be crystal clear about the change you want to create. 2, you don't do this alone. Go beyond your usual suspects. Bring in unexpected new voices to the table. And 3, your event or congress is just a milestone. Think long term, build a timeline, and see your event as a launchpad, not the finish line. Thank you and good luck.